grown up now. I don't know, when you're a kid, you always hear, when you grow up. I'll tell you, when you grow up. Hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't know what it is, and I'll tell you what I've worked out. It's not an age thing. It's got nothing to do with getting older, or your body changing, or finding the odd grey pube, you know? Like on you, not like in some soup. Like, it's just, which weirdos is this? Line them up! Him, get him out. Make a wish. Now, I don't know when you are supposed to be. And what's your name, my smiling friend?
Mark.
Mark. Hello, Mark. Now, how old are you, Mark? It's not an age thing, but I need to know how old are you?
29.
29. I'm 29 as well. Mark, do you consider yourself a grown-up? No. Now, you're 29 and you don't. Now, that's fair enough, right? Now, in a minute, Mark, right, I'm going to ask you, when you were younger, and people said, what do you want to be when you're older? I'm going to ask you what you used to say, and if you are that thing now, and if not, why aren't you that thing? I'm not trying to make you think you've wasted your life. This is not what this is. It's not an intervention. This is all set up. Well, Mark, we think you did a lot of pissing about at school, and you wasted some serious opportunities, and we're all disappointed in you. It's none of that. I've asked that question to people all over the country, and I've got some amazing answers. I personally wanted to be, when I was young, I wanted to be an astronaut and a zookeeper. Or an astronaut or a zookeeper. Not like an astronaut collecting floating giraffe shit. Problem's no problem. Get in the vents. Get in the vents. You know, I want to be an astronaut, and then the reason I'm not an astronaut is because I realised you have to be in the top 10% of clever people in the world to be an astronaut. I've got my head screwed on, but I know that's not happening, right? So that fell by the wayside. Then I wanted to be a vet. I was like, right, I'll be a vet. And then my mum was like, you know, you've got to stay in university and stuff for like twice as long as a doctor to be a vet. That went down by the wayside as well. So then I downgraded that to zookeeper, you know? That's a carefree job. I can just tickle the animals, then pick up their shit. Not a problem. Sorry, that implies that my tickling makes them shit. That's not what I'm for. It's not like the lemurs are constipated. Get that pervert in again. Make a wish. Mark, what did you want to be when you were younger? When people asked you, Mark, what do you want to be when you grow up? What did you used to say, pal?
Footballer.
Footballer. Footballer. A few blokes, Geordie blokes, nodding. Footballer. What are you?
A mortgage advisor.
A mortgage advisor. Oh! Right, gig's over. Everyone go home. Cancel this. I'm too sad to continue. Why aren't you a footballer, Mark?
I'm too fat.
I'm too fat! Oh, man! Too fat. You see all the top rows going, where's the fat bastard? Where's the... Let's have a look. Is everyone looking? Oh, man, bless you. Well, I love that really, so too fat. Do you not want to do football and maybe lose the weight? Definitely not. Definitely not, mate. Where's that pint of gravy? Thank you very much. Round of applause, Mark, everyone. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I've asked people all over the country what they want to be. I've had some amazing answers. I asked a man in Hull, I said, mate, when you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up? He said, I want to be a Formula 1 driver, Chris. I said, why aren't you a Formula 1 driver? He said, because I got done for drink driving. I asked a guy in Edinburgh, I said, mate, when you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up? He said, I wanted to be a policeman. I said, okay, mate. Why aren't you a policeman? He said, because I'm colourblind. Apparently you can't be a policeman if you're colourblind. I said, mate, get to America. They could do with some colourblind policemen. So the point is, right, I don't know when you're supposed to be a grown-up. I've got no idea when you're supposed to class yourself as a grown-up. But something happened to me recently. That made me think, maybe I am. Maybe I'm finally a grown-up. It was harrowing. It was depressing. It was horrible. I was in the house watching the TV. Doorbell rang. Got up, went to the door, opened it. No one there. For the first time ever, I was the victim. I was the victim of knocky door neighbour. That's it, life's over. Do we all agree on knocky door neighbour? No, right, the people who don't agree, shout what you call it. Right, knocky nine doors was quite overwhelming there. Anyone else? Knockdown ginger, right. That is the weirdest shit. Knockdown ginger is what they call it in the South, and that is so creepy. Why do you call it that? This sounds like a hate crime. Have the ginger brothers and sisters not had enough stick, for God's sake? They call it some amazing stuff all over the country. In Yorkshire, right? In Yorkshire, they call it the most Yorkshire thing ever. So lazy in Yorkshire, it's beautiful. In Yorkshire, they call it knock on door run. That's not a name. That's what you do in the game. Do you want to play knock on door run? I wouldn't know what that's going to entail. Do you want to shorten it, mate, and give it a proper name? No, because you knock on door, you flipping run. Do you want to play 11 men, kick ball in net? Fair enough. Hull's got the best one. In Hull, it rolls off the tongue. In Hull, they call it ding dong dash. Oh! It's like a nursery rhyme. Tell you what, jokes aside, I was heartbroken. I was devastated. I stood at my front door, holding it open like that, as it dawned on us, dressing gown on, billowing in the wind. I look fantastic. Devastated like that. It dawned on us, it hit us. I'm now the man. Yeah? Do you remember when you were in a supermarket, when you were younger, you'd be acting yourself, right? And your mum, to calm you down, your mum and your dad would go, hey, put that back there now. You're not getting them. Just we get home. You're not getting them. Tell you what, don't make a scene. Don't cry. Don't cry, because look, the man's watching you. I'm the man! It's heartbreaking, man, when it dawns on you. It's devastating. I think it's karma, because me and my mates, we'll call it ding dong dash forever now. They've won. Hull's won, right? Me and my mate took ding dong dash to the next level when we were kids, right? What happened was, me and my mate Michael, we fell out momentarily for a couple of days with a lad across the road. The lad across the road was called Grant. And Grant was a lovely kid. Bit weird. He was a lovely kid. For example, footballer, astronaut or a zookeeper. Grant wanted to be a great white shark hunter. Hunter? Do you know what I mean? Like, he watched Jaws and went, well, this is an epidemic, I'm going to sort this out. So me and my mate Michael, we fell out with Grant, right? Now, Grant's dad was the first person on our street to get a brand new white PVC-U front door. I'd never seen one before, right? It was his pride and joy. He walked the whole street up cleaning it every morning. You could hear him. It sounded like someone molesting a dolphin. It was the worst, right? Now, I'd never seen one of these doorbells before. It was incredible. These doorbells, you'll know now, you've got them, people have got them, you know, but this is the first one we saw. These doorbells, they don't have a doorbell drilled into the door frame. No. They have a wireless doorbell. Receiver in the house, wireless doorbell button, double-sided sticky pad onto the door. So me and Michael, we didn't run up the drive, ring the door and run away like amateurs. No. We confidently sauntered up the drive, removed the button from the door frame, hit in the hedge across the road, and unleashed hell. I'm not ashamed to say it was the greatest afternoon of my life. Sat on the edge like that, about 25 yards away from the door. I couldn't believe me luck when it worked. Ding dong! Surely enough, couple of minutes, Grandstad comes to the door. Bloody kids. He's the man, he's used to being the man. He goes back in. Now, this is my mate's house. I know where everything is in this house. I know roughly how long it's going to take Grandstad's arse to get back on that sofa. So I shave a couple of milliseconds off that. Hopefully he's like mid-sit. He's like, ding dong! Bloody hell. Twice in a row, this never happens. What's going on here? Back in. Didn't even give him a chance to get out of the porch then. It was just ding dong! Back again, ding dong! Back again, ding dong! You can see it in his face. He could not fathom why there was no footsteps. It's ninjas. It's ninjas. Grant, get your harpoon. There's a ninja battle afoot. Ding dong, but again, ding dong, but again, ding dong. He's getting there. He's faster. He's waiting. He's ready. At one point, I swear, I saw the letterbox open from the inside. What's happening? Ding dong, but again, ding dong, but again. He's red-faced, he's sweating, he's freaking out. It got to the point where we're dinging it, and he's opening the door before the dong. I heard the dong from across the street. Dong! And it stopped. Just stopped. Didn't come to the door anymore. He's that red-faced and sweating. For a moment, I was like, we've killed him, he's dead. Then we sat there for a while, click, nothing happening. Right, okay, it's over. We went to move. The bush must have moved or something. Front door open. It's a trap. He's been waiting. He marched out of his house, down his drive, right at the end of his drive, straight for me and Michael. He stopped at the end of the drive. He held his hand in the air. He went, I don't know where you are, but I've took the batteries out, you little shits. It was just the greatest game. It was the greatest game. There was no better game to play than that. And the reason I loved it so much, the reason I loved knocking on doors, running away so much, was because when I first moved to that estate, there was no doors to knock on. Me and my mum and dad were the first house on a brand new estate in South Shields, right? Now that sounds a bit posh. That sounds, oh yeah, a little backhander, a bit of VIP treatment. No. You misunderstand. I lived, while I was 7, for 3 months on a building site. It was creepy, it was weird. I got so lonely. I'm an only child, right? I had no one to play with, no one in the street, no brothers and sisters. It was awful. On a weekend, my mum used to go shopping. I used to sit in the porter cabin on the building site with the building site foreman. I genuinely thought he was me mate. He was. He's 44. His name was Graham. I'm sure he didn't see it that way at all. I'm sure he was really pissed off. Look, I'm annoying now. I'm aware I'm irritating now. Imagine being stuck in a porter cabin with 7-year-old this, just doing his tits in constantly. Just like, well, can I have a drink? Can I have some juice? Can I wear your hat? Come and drive the digger. How many bricks have you seen? Why are you here? got pathetic, right? I was 7 years old. Before my 8th birthday party, I went in to Graham's porter cabin and handed Graham an invitation to the 8th birthday party. He didn't come. I was devastated at the time, crying my eyes out, getting that ice rink of snot on the top lip, crying my eyes out. But I'm glad in a way, in retrospect, because if he did, my mates would still bring it up now. Do you know what I mean? They would like have a couple of pints and be like, Ramsey, remember your 8th birthday party? When there was a 44-year-old builder in the ball pool at the Wacky Warehouse. Got sadder than that, guys. Got sadder than that. Every night for 3 months, I played hide and seek in the house with me mum. Pathetic behaviour. But you have not known pure joy, pure mischievous joy as a child, till you found the greatest hiding place in your house and stayed in it past the point of fun. Sat in the best hiding space and just listened to the escalating levels of worry and panic in your mum's voice as she is getting destroyed at hide and seek, just running around the house losing her shit. Do you know what I mean? Because it was her fault, right? It was her fault I took it to such extremes, because she started off giving me no respect whatsoever. She'd start off, you'd hear her, just like, come on, ready or not? Oh, God, 5th time this week, kill us now. I wonder where you are. Lifting up cushions on the sofa. I'm not a borrower, love. Sort this out, get your game up, you're about to get schooled, woman. Right? Then you'd hear her starting to freak out, right? She'd start to take it seriously. She'd start silently padding around the house. Chris? And then she'd start trying to scare us, running into rooms and barking my name. Chris! Making random noises. Trying to freak us out. Chris! Right? Then she'd get to the next level, then she'd give it a try, she'd get cheeky. She'd be like, right, what is this that you've done here? Get out here now, you're in big trouble, young man. She's bluffing, you gotta wait that shit out, right? Try a few, you know. Tea's ready, bullshit, I don't smell turkey dinosaurs. Stay right here, love. Right here. Then she'd get to the point, honestly, I remember times where she would run and check the front door. Honestly, like legging it going, oh my God, have I locked the front door? Is he outside? Chris, it's not, oh my God, did he get outside? Did it shut behind him? Was he locked out? Was he outside? Was he on the building site? Did he get hit by a tractor? Is he under some bricks? Is it with Pedo Graham? Chris... All the way through the levels of worry a northern working class northeast mother can have in a family emergency, all the way through them all to, oh my God, where is he? Oh my God, is he missing? Oh my God, is he hurt? Oh my God, is he dead? Past all of them to the highest level of worry a northeast working class mother can have. We're going to be in the papers. You know where I was? Tumble dryer. Only works till you're about 9, then you break it. Being an only child, man, you had to get good at making friends. I remember the best advice I got from my mum and dad, the best advice I got from them was just go up to a group of kids and just join in. Just join in. That was the best advice I ever got. Just join in. So then you're making friends organically. You're just there. You just popped up like a big Asda. Just there one day. You're at a sleepover that don't know your name. Night night. Who's that kid? How have you got a message over him? How top bunk. There's a 44-year-old bloke with him. Shh. Graham's got an early start tomorrow. We went on holiday that year. Me and my mum and dad went on holiday that year. Now, this holiday was a turning point in my stepping stone towards adulthood. There's something terrible happened on that holiday. Remember, sometimes when you're a kid in a situation like that, maybe a day out, maybe a holiday, your mum and dad would make friends with another mum and dad, meaning you were automatically expected to be friends with whatever cretinous little wretch of a child they had. They would. It was just like, this is your friend now? I bloody believe not, mother. My mum and dad, they went on holiday that year. They went to Mallorca and they made friends. My mum and dad made friends that year with a lovely couple from Buckinghamshire. Right? Because sometimes my mum gets above her station and forgets where she's from. Puts her phone voice on in real life. Oh, yes, we would love to afternoon tea with you on the veranda. They made friends with a lovely couple from Buckinghamshire, right? Now, this couple had a son called Lawrence. Thank you. The rest of the country, that's normal. We don't get a Lawrence up here, do we? We don't get a Lawrence. It's weird. It's like calling a dog Dave. It's just weird. It doesn't fit. Lawrence was going to be my friend for the next 13 nights. I knew after 13 minutes that this wasn't going to fly. Lawrence was the rubbish kid. You know, the rubbish kid, just the kid who's not allowed to do anything. And anything he is allowed to do, he just whinges about, doesn't want to do, he's too scared to do, or he can't do. He's the kid who doesn't like any food. He's the kid who whinges about everything. He's the kid who's allergic to everything. He's allergic to his own asthma inhaler. It's a nightmare. Now, I know you're thinking, Chris, are you going to stand on stage now and mercilessly slag off a 7-year-old boy? I know it's going to get weird. I'm not going to do that. It's fine. He was 6. Now, I don't like to judge straight away, but I knew as soon as I looked at him, he had a massive head. It was huge. That sounds harsh, that sounds really harsh. But you know what, you've seen the kids, he's fine, there's nothing wrong with him, but you look and you go, well, your body's 6 years old, but your head's 43. You all know a Lawrence. Lawrence is the kid round the pool on holiday who has layers and layers of unrubbed in sun cream. Just caked on, looks like his mum puts it on via baptism, just go around the pool. When there's a kid like Lawrence, you don't need to put your own cream on. Keep an eye on him, wait till he jumps in the pool and hit his oil slick. Free cream! You get a full coat off it. Although Lawrence never jumped in the pool, Lawrence always used the stairs. He was 6 and he wouldn't jump in. I'm like, please, Lawrence, come on, let's have a jumping competition. See who can jump the farthest, see who can make the biggest splash. No, the water goes up my nose and I might hurt my bottom. His voice still haunts me to this day. He could make anything sound sad no matter what he was saying. He can honestly be like, this is the best birthday ever. He could kill any sentence dead. One day, we were going to go to the beach. My mum and dad, his mum and dad, they all planned to go to the beach. A lovely day at the beach. I was looking forward to it for days, right? Days. We got there. We left after 45 minutes because that little shit always got his own way. Crying his eyes out he was, hysterical, because he saw a crab. It's the beach! Prepare yourself for seeing crabs! He was hysterical, he was scarred for life. It came straight at me! No, it didn't, they can only move sideways. little shit. Honestly. I know this sounds harsh. He ruined me holiday. He ruined me life. He ruined my life. I have a trait to this day. I have a trait in my life that Lawrence gave me, and I can't get rid of it. The only thing me and Lawrence used to do on holiday, the only good thing that I remember, the only enjoyment of knocking around with him, eating competitions. He could eat really fast because he had like an adult's jaw. So we used to put chips down, right? And he'd go, pile of chips, and we'd race each other. We'd put 25 pesetas down. Remember the 25 pesetas with a hole in the middle? Remember? Yeah. You used to always keep one, didn't you, for the flight home and put it on your gold chain so people knew you'd been on holiday. You're on holiday, mate. Look like it. You find it in? Currency to prove it. Put 25 pesetas down, he put 25 pesetas down. Go right, 1, 2, 3, and we'd eat the chips. And whoever finished the chips first got the 50%. I'm bored just telling you that story, and that was the happiest moment of that holiday for me. I still eat fast to this day. I still eat fast, like to the point of where in restaurants, people on other tables are like, "So he just got out of prison?" My wife hates going out for meals with us because I finish meals, I finish it, and I sit opposite her and I just look at her plate like a dog, just waiting for leftovers. One day I didn't want to play with Lawrence. You know what I did? Sunbathed. You ever seen a 7-year-old sunbathe? No. It's weird, it doesn't happen often. You just lie there, like, I'll just lie still instead of being friends with this kid. People think you're ill. What's wrong? Is he hurt himself? What's wrong? Is he not well? He's just made a really shit friend. He's just going to stay still in the sun because Lawrence has to stay in the shadows. You know what Lawrence wanted to be, right? Footballer, astronaut, zookeeper. You know what Lawrence wanted to be? 6 years old. When he grew up, he wanted to be a town planner. I didn't even know what it was. I'd asked me dad. He started explaining. I got bored. I just jumped in the pool. On the final night of the holiday, he did something that took me on my first step to adulthood. It was the first time in my life I was ever vindictive. All right? Final night of the holiday, my mum and dad and his mum and dad said, let's go for pizzas, then the arcade. Yeah! So excited. I weighed a bit. I was so excited. Lawrence didn't want to go. Lawrence didn't want to go to the arcade. Lawrence wanted to stay, believe it or not, stay at the hotel and watch the hotel entertainment. Who wants to watch the hotel entertainment? The hotel entertainment, in my experience, is basically for people who've drank too much during the day and can't physically leave the complex. Just rows and rows of pink men on sun loungers going, I've overdone it, Denise, I've overdone it. I've overdone it, I live here now, I live here. Just drape one of me good shirts over us, just drape it over. Get us some prawns from the buffet. Pour some cold milk on me head, I'll be fine. I'll just watch the disco. And we had to sit, he cried, he got his own way, he always did, whinging, selfish little shit, got his own way. And we had to sit. I sat on this, all the parents were at the bottom, and we sat on this balcony at the back, holding onto these railings like I was in prison, right? Watching these three dicks singing disco songs. And what made it worse was how much enjoyment Lawrence was getting out of it. Loving it, right? Loving it. Sat there like that. Fuming. Lawrence, I bet you 25 pesetas you can't get your head through these railings. So bad. So bad. In my defence, I didn't think it would go in. I thought it was going to hurt his ear and I was going to get 50 pesetas. Evidently, enough unrubbed in cream from the day, not a problem. Straight in. Not an issue whatsoever. Lubricated, straight through. Right? Coming out, not happening at all. I've never heard such a high-pitched noise in my life. Go and get my mummy! Go and get my mummy! So I quickly ran to the swings for an hour. I got a proper holiday bollocking. Remember a holiday dragged to the room bollocking? Smiling, your mum smiling and gritting teeth through other people so she don't know you're taking you back for a bollocking. Walk into this room, night night, you fucking little shit. I don't care. I don't regret it, because you have not known comedy. You have not known pure, joyous comedy in your life until you have watched a hysterical mother buttering her child's massive head with the tiny butters from the buffet to the tune of Agadoo. It was glorious. I've got parts of my life where I think I'm definitely a grown-up. Chris, you are definitely a grown-up. Then I've got bits that contradict that so much. I've got a house. I have my own house. I live in my own house. My mum and dad don't live there. It's mine, right? Unless she's playing hide and seek. Better check the tumble dryer. I haven't seen her for a fortnight. My house, I have an office in my house. I've got a spare room. That is my little office, right? I do my adult work in that office. But I'm running out of space in my adult's office because I buy too much Lego. It's not normal. Look at the clip of all of this. Look at this. It's ridiculous. I can't stop. Right? I'm running out of space in my full-time workplace because I buy too many children's toys. It's not normal. I've got an accountant. I have an accountant. I go for meetings with me accountant. How Billy Big Bollocks and grown up is that? Huh? But I missed a meeting with me accountant recently because it was a sunny day and I bought a trampoline. Traffic's a nightmare, mate. It's an absolute nightmare. Cynthia, clear my schedule. Biker. Now. I got married last year. Got married. I love being married. I'm not going to slag it off. I absolutely love it. But I tell you what, something happened. Something happened. Because you think, oh, you get married, so you must think, oh, I'm a grown-up now. I'm married, so I'm a grown-up. That's not how it works, right? It doesn't work like that for me. I didn't feel like I was a grown-up. But I tell you what, other people, mates and family members, they automatically, as soon as you get married, they see you as a grown-up, right? And do you know what happens? Presents get shit. Honestly, I now get joy over how crap presents have got. I love it. I love it so much. Like a scarf used to be down there for me. When you're younger, if you got a scarf, it's like the standard, oh, no effort put in, no imagination, I'll get you a scarf. A scarf is up there for me now. Because of the tat I get, a scarf is up there. It's in the top of my league table. I love a scarf. I wear a scarf indoors. I walk around the house with a scarf on, wait for my wife to start an argument. I win the argument, swoosh it, and leave the room. I love a scarf so much. Now, a couple who me and my wife know came to my wedding, Catherine and Dan. And Dan bigged up his present he got me, bigged it up so much, I forgot I was in the realm of shit presents. He regressed me in my head to 7-year-old Chris Ramsey. This was the first thing he said, and I'll never forgive him for what he said. He walked in, he went, "Sorry to come to the wedding empty-handed, but the reason I didn't bring your present was because it was too big." Could it be? I'm back in the realm of amazing presents. If it's too big, that normally means it's a massive, amazing, brilliant present, and I can keep the box and build a fort. Then, second thing he said, later on, he went, "I'll give you a ring during the week and we'll work out when I can pop round and drop your present off. This present is so epic. Dan is scheduling an appointment. He needs space in the diary for how epic this present is." He then phoned us up on the morning. He said, "Are you in the house?" I said, "Yes, I'm in." He said, "I'm going to bring your present round now. Open the back doors. I'll bring it round the garden." Ah! How incredible is this present that I need my full garden to bask in its amazing epicness. It's going to be unreal. I thought, you know what? He knows me so well. He knows Rosie so well. They know us so well as a couple. They know what we're going to want. It's going to be another trampoline. Yes! Another trampoline. I put one in my garden, one in my neighbour's garden, and just bounce over the fence. It's going to be incredible. He came round, I heard him open the gate, I heard him dragging something, definitely a trampoline. I know it's going to be. I took my socks and shoes off. I stretched off. I got ready, I warmed up. He brought it around, he went, "Are you ready?" "Yes, I am ready, mate. Yes, I'm ready for a good old bouncing session. Yes, I'm ready. You ready for the best present ever?" "Yes, I'm ready." He brought it round. Ta-da! It was an olive tree. Olives. I hate olives so much. They're like suicidal grapes. They're the worst. They're the worst. That's not a present. That's responsibility. That's keep this alive, dickhead. That's one rung under. Look after me elderly relative for a few hours. See how you get on. Right, and this tree, this little shit of a tree, it came with a list of demands. It came with a list of demands. Stuff I had to do to keep the little twat alive. Right? I've never been condescended to by a bit of paper so much in my life. So picture the scene. I've saw the present. I'm angry. I've pretended not to be angry until Dan's left. I've opened this. "Welcome to the olive growing group." I'd have called it the Unwanted Shrub Club. Did you know olive trees can last for up to 1,000 years? There are even cases of olive trees lasting over 2,000 years. So this tree will certainly outlive you. Thank you very much. What a morbid, morose reminder of me impending doom. There's your present, it's going to watch you die. This plant comes from the south of Europe and loves to be outdoors in the sun. I live in South Shields. Are you nuts? You've just sent this plant to its death. Although it likes to be outdoors all year round, it doesn't like strong winds, heavy rain, or hard frost. That's our summer, mate. Someone better tell this soft southern plant that it is now north of the wall and winter is coming. This next bit just got us confused and angry, if I'm honest. It likes a lot of water, but doesn't like to get its feet wet. Riddles? Actual riddles? Don't feed it after midnight. It just got ridiculous, right? Don't let the compost get too wet or too dry. Keep it just right. Add some food between late spring and early autumn, but not too much food and not for prolonged periods of time. It likes to be fed in the late morning or the early evening. Be sure to trim the foliage in the summer. It's Lawrence. It's Lawrence. I've been getting Lawrence in plant form. Please move it inside if it looks miserable. a psychiatrist. I don't know what to do and cutting itself, listen to the Smiths. I hope it does that. I hope it cuts itself. It'll save me a job on the foliage in the summer. And I took the mick out of it, right? They left and I took the mick. And my wife, Rosie, says, what's the matter with you? Why are you doing this? Come on. Why? I said, look, this is what I do. I'm a comedian. I'm not an astronaut. I'm not a zookeeper, right? I whinge at stuff. I take the mick out of stuff. This is what I do, right? She said, what? Stop it. You're being childish. You're being so ungrateful. It's just a quirky present for our friends to get with. What were you expecting? Trampoline. You've already got one! You never have too many trampolines. Just said, you know what? Be a grown-up. I bet you can't get an olive out of it. Game on, bitch. Game on, you know what I'm going to do? That's what I'm going to do. She's right. I'm going to be an adult. I'm going to do the most adult thing you can do. I'm going to grow my own sustenance. That's what I'm going to do. And yeah, I don't like them, but they're going to taste like victory. They're going to taste like victory. The day it sprouts its first olive, I'm going to stand atop a mountain. And I'm going to be like, I'm Chris Ramsey, and I grew my own olives. It tastes like hate. So I did. 4 months of my life I dedicated to this. I brought it in out of the cold. I trimmed it. I fed it. I sung to it. I told it bedtime stories. I found its feet. I gave them a little tickle. Right? And on the day it started sprouting its little olivelets, I couldn't believe it. Little olivelets, little tiny little boop, 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 boop. So excited. Honestly, I went away for a couple of days. I didn't want to leave it. I phoned my mum. I got my mum to come round and olive sit. She olive sat me plant. Right? I couldn't believe it. I got back. She said, there's been some olives. I said, oh my God. They were in the bottom, in the soil. I've never been happier. I felt like a proud father. I scooped the olives up with a little soil on them. I gave them a kiss. I sung to them as I took them to the sink. I went to give them a wash, but I wanted to check the rules one more time because I didn't know if they had stones or not. Because that's another thing about olives. Booby-trapped. Booby-trapped food. I had a quick check. I made sure I'd done everything right. And just at the bottom, in the smallest print you have ever seen in your life, warning, olives from this tree must not be eaten, as they will be extremely bitter. Well, that makes fucking two of us. I've just recently moved house, right? And I left the olive tree at the old house. I buried it in the garden, upside down. Hot in the air like a gangland message for anyone thinking that that's a decent present, because it's not. Right? Moving house, man. I spent my first night in my new house recently, and it's the most adult thing I've ever done. Look for a house. It is properly a call to adulthood. Even 10 years ago, if you'd said to me, Chris, you're going to get a house, what is your main criteria? What do you want in that house? I used to watch MTV Cribs. So I'd be like, man, I want me bath to have a lever on it that turns it into a toboggan and fires us to work. Ridiculous levels of crap. Do you know what got me genuinely excited? Do you know what was my number one criteria? What got me nearly sexually aroused? Looking at new houses, and I never thought I'd be this guy, but I am that guy. Looking around new houses, my number one criteria, storage. I don't even have that much stuff, but I want it all stored away. I want burglars to be like, where's all his shit? Stored away. I want people to come around for dinner. Nice meal, Chris, that was lovely. Yeah, where's my jacket? Stored away. Chris, how's your wife? I haven't seen her for a while. Stored away. The house I got this house because the man selling it was like a storage wizard. This is what happened. We're in his house downstairs looking around. We're stood at the bottom of the stairs ready to go upstairs. He said, "What do you think so far?" I said the most boring sentence I've ever said in my life. I was embarrassed for myself. I went, "You've got a fair bit of storage." As I said it, I was just instantly wearing a cardigan. I honestly wasn't expecting anything from him. I was expecting him to go, "Weirdo," and carry on. I mean, fair enough, freak. But he went, "Do you like storage, do you?" I said, "What the hell's happening here?" Honestly, I thought he was going to go, "Come back after dark, bring an open-minded friend." I was like, "Oh, yeah, I like storage. I like a bit of storage." Yeah. He went, "Do you know? Do you know? Turn around." And what? He went, "Turn around." He went, "You see that mirror on the wall?" I said, "Yeah." "Go over to that mirror now. Walk up to it and push it." "What? Push it?" "Walk up and push that mirror." "No, yes, now." "Other side." "Harder." Cupboard. Cupboard. Hidden behind a mirror in the hallway. Batman's house. Batman's house. I was like, "Mate, that is amazing. That is great. I love that. I love that." He went, "You've seen nothing yet, son. You've seen nothing yet. Come upstairs." I took his hand. I didn't take his hand. We got in the bedroom. In the bedroom, they had fitted wardrobes. Now, if you're a storage fiend like me, fitted wardrobes are the greatest thing. Floor to ceiling, wall to wall storage. There was storage over and around the bed. "Where's your storage, Chris?" "Cuddling me to sleep." "So my storage is mwah, 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 mwah. Move over, Graham." Let's do this. You smell like cement. Now, I went, fitted wardrobes, fantastic, mate, brilliant. He went, "That's not it. Come here. Stand there." I was like, "Mate, if this is a trapdoor, sold now. Where do I sign?" Do you know what I mean? "Rosie make us a bacon sandwich." "I can't be bothered." Too late. He went, you stand here. You see this wardrobe? Yeah? Open this wardrobe. See the clothes on the rail? Yeah? Push those clothes. Push those clothes to the left. See the back of the cupboard wall? Yes? See that hole? See that hole halfway down the back of the cupboard wall? Yes. Put your finger. Put your finger. Put your finger through that hole. don't want to, I'm scared. Do it now, Chris. Put your finger through that hole. You regret it for the rest of your life if you don't. I don't know, I'm not sure. It's my first time. Everyone needs a first time, Chris. Everyone needs a first time. Climb in that cupboard and stick your finger in that hole. I'm not sure. Where's my wife? She's outside looking at the shed. She'll never know. She'll never know. Oh, God, I'm not sure. Come here. He grabbed me hand. He was firm but gentle. Took my hand like that, he got it ready, put the finger on like that, I went towards it, I was shaking, I was nervous, we missed the hole a couple of times, I was hot, I was swollen, it wouldn't go in, he spat on the hole. Hey, there is nothing rude happening here. Nothing rude at all, this is just a nice man showing me a wardrobe. Bunch of perverts. With the lubrication, it slid straight in, fantastic. 50 shades of storage. It slid straight in like Lawrence's head through the railings. Beautiful, perfect fit. I felt fantastic. He said, how do you feel, Chris? I said, I feel like a new man. I'm going to leave me wife and marry this hole. He said, are you ready? I said, I was born ready. He said, move your arm to the left. Loft space. Loft space hidden behind a fitted wardrobe in the master bedroom. Do you know what this means, Newcastle? This means that I can buy this house, and as a 29-year-old man, I can invite my mother around and play hide and seek to the death. So why, Chris? Why all grown up? Why am I here on stage worrying about whether I should be classed as grown up or not? Why don't I just get on with it like the rest of her? Well, I feel like specifically now, I feel like I need to grow up. I'm excited, but I'm also terrified because my wife is pregnant. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's awesome. But it's scary, it's a mixture of emotions, it's crazy. It's due in 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks, right smack in the middle of me tour, awkward little twat, definitely mine. People in the room, you know, man, it's a terrifying thing. It's a big, scary world out there. So many awful, horrendous things can happen. Like, what if it wants to play with me Lego? I'm going to have to buy 2 of each set. I'm going to be bankrupt. It's mad, man. When you find out you're going to be a parent, you realise you have got one job in this world till the day you die. And it's not keep it alive. It's not keep it safe. It's not feed it and clothe it, make sure it brushes its teeth. It's none of that. It's much more important than all of that. Do not raise a Lawrence. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. Do not add to the world's already gargantuan level of Lawrences. Now, when I say a Lawrence, I don't mean a criminal or a thief or a murderer or a rapist or a paedophile or Katie Hopkins. I mean dickheads. I mean dickheads. I mean Lawrences. I mean, don't you raise someone who says they're not hungry when everyone's ordering takeaway. Then when it arrives, picks off everyone else's tray. Can't just pick. No, you can't. Dickhead. Don't raise someone who thinks it's acceptable to pop round to a friend's house for less than an hour and do a shit in the toilet. Dickhead! You want to be doing twosies in my house, you better be staying overnight, mate. Do not raise someone who says the phrase, totes amazeballs. Dickhead. Awesome sauce. Dickhead. I was listening to the radio the other day, and I heard the radio DJ say the phrase, totally awkward moment. But he abbreviated it to, Totsoki Momo. Imagine being the father of Tortogi Momo. Imagine knowing you unleashed Tortogi Momo on the earth. I would lock him in a basement till he lost the power of speech. And go full fritzel on him. Full fritzel. Not the sex bit, not the sex bit. It's incredible. It's amazing. Your wife's sitting tonight. Where is she? There she is. Hiya, love. Hiya, there she is. Sitting tonight. It's amazing. 2.5 weeks we've got. Ladies in the room, you bring life into this world. You are incredible. You are warriors. And never, ever, when you are pregnant, look at yourself in the mirror and judge your body. You are beautiful. You are phenomenal. A pregnant lady is a wondrous, gorgeous miracle of nature. My wife is perfect, and she gets more and more perfect for me every single day, right? And that's... And that's hard for me to say. That is hard for me to say, because recently she did shit herself in Nando's. Oh, he's so nice, isn't he? Wrong! It wasn't a dirty protest. It wasn't, do you know what I mean? There's no halloumi left. You'll rue the day, mate. You'll rue the day. Pregnant ladies, man, weird stuff happens. Weird stuff happens to your body. With Nando, she was constipated. She went to the toilet, you know, tried to get a couple of squats going to get everything moving. Moved a bit too fast. And she shat on the floor. That was the worst bit. She on the floor. Then she stood in it. That was worse. Stood in it with sandals on. Now, they're not the shoe. They are not the shoe to stand in your poo with. It's essentially a spatula for your foot. You don't want that. You don't want... Smeared it around the floor and that. I was in the car waiting for her. She comes out of the car, shuts the door. It's a hot day. Bloody hell. What's that? She told us I died. Open that door and kick them shoes out now. Get rid of them. I wanted to open the door and kick them out so it would drive off like we were abandoning a dog. When you see it on them horror adverts, I wanted to see them sandals in the rear view going... Throw them out. No! Throw them out. No! And I learned 2 things that day. First thing I learned was that my wife is a better person than I will ever be ever. She's just a better person than I'll ever be. She tries to make me a better person. It doesn't always work, but she tries. She's a better person than I will ever be. Obviously, firstly, because I probably shouldn't be recording a DVD in which I tell the whole world my poor wife. But as I've told her numerous times before, if she wants this baby to eat... She's a better person than me in more ways than that. She's a better person than me because she's more thoughtful than me. I sat there and I said, throw them shoes out now. Get rid of them shoes, throw them out. She wouldn't throw them away. I said, why? She said, I can't believe you can't remember. She wouldn't throw them away because those sandals were the first present that I ever bought her. I felt like such an arsehole. I felt terrible, man. What a beautiful thing. It wasn't, to me, they were just a pair of shitty sandals. Literally! I made her throw one away. The offending sandal went out the door. Boom, we drove off. I learned 2 things that day. First thing was that she's a better person than I'll ever be. Second thing was the answer to a universal mystery that I never thought I'd solve. None of us thought would ever be solved. I've solved it. You are welcome in advance. The second thing I learned that day was, you know when you're out and about, You just see one shoe. Now we all know what happened. It's amazing watching the woman you love go through such an incredible thing, an incredible journey. It's awesome. I meant every word I said. Nando's poos aside. Pregnant ladies, you are beautiful. It is gorgeous. But, and I know I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong, so don't storm the stage and go mental. Don't storm the stage and punch us, love. I'm going to step back here. Right? I really don't like, nay, I hate having sex with a pregnant woman. Feel it. Feel that tension. Feel that tension as every bloke in the room goes, you're on your own, mate. Cowards. Cowards, every man in this room. If you were brave like me, you would admit it's not nice having sex with a pregnant lady when your beautiful miracle of nature, gorgeous pregnant lady says to you, let's have sex. The only thing you can think of is... I know I'm wrong, right? But my mate Michael, who did the Ding Dong Dash with us, my mate Michael came into school when we were 10 years old and he laid some knowledge on me, and I believed this bullshit till I was 17. He said this: Michael's mum and dad were pregnant with Michael's little brother, right? Michael came into school and said this: you know when a mummy and daddy are having sex and the mummy's pregnant, if the daddy really bonks her, I trust whatever he's about to say, he's clearly got a medical background. Right? He knows all the terminology. If the daddy really bonks her, sometimes the willy can touch the baby. And that's what birthmarks are. I've got one at the back of my neck. It was so close. If I turned around, it would have went in my mouth. I know I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. It is stupid. It is stupid. Of course it can't touch. Of course it can't. I Googled it. I Googled it so you beautiful people didn't have to. I Googled it, then I immediately cleared my internet search history. Because I tell you what, I had to put some dodgy words in to find that out. I cleared me history, threw me laptop in a river, prepared me alibi for the immediate knock at the door I was going to receive. There's no one there when I opened it. What's happening, man? Of course it can't touch. Of course it can't. It said on a very reputable website, it said, it is a common misconception that while having sex while pregnant, the man's penis can make contact with the baby. The man's penis cannot touch the baby. And I should have stopped reading there. Said, the penis can, however, Jostle. Jostle the baby. So let me get this straight, Mr. Internet. I can't touch the baby, but I can shake its entire existence with my willy. That is 1,000,000 times worse in my book. 1,000,000 times worse. Mate, would you rather? Would you rather momentarily touch your dad's dick? Momentarily. More just... momentarily. Or let him push you with it on a swing. Let's do this, Dad! So glad I would see you on weekends. Unfortunately, when the park is at its fullest. Don't answer that, Christ. It was rhetorical. Please don't answer. Of course it can't touch. Of course it can't. I'm being a child. I'm being an idiot. I need to grow up. It just freaks us out, though. Do you know what I mean? That's my baby's house. That's where my baby lives. And she wants me to mess around with a letterbox. She wants us to play bloody Ding Dong Dash. That's what she's after. Of course it can't. You know what? Evolution shows us that we need to have sex while pregnant. It is natural. It is perfect. We'll have to do it. Evolution paved the way. Because think about it. We can't remember being born and we can't remember being in the womb. That's evolution going, you don't want them memories. You don't want them memories. Because you're about to come face to face with a guy whose dick's been giving you motion sickness for 9 months. You don't want that. You do not want that. Not just that, a fetus in the womb from 16 weeks after conception, a 16-week-old fetus can hear everything outside of the womb. It's going to get weird, isn't it? You're sitting in your high chair, your dad's feeding you, he's doing that thing with the spoon and the plane. Is that nice? You like that, don't you? Oh, look at what you like. You've got it all over your chin. We found out about the baby on holiday. We were away and we found out that she was pregnant. Now, you'd think that that would be a defining moment in me going, right, I'm going to be a dad. Bang, I'm an adult. I'm just an adult now, no matter what. No. The defining moment, the solidifying moment for me to decide whether to be an adult or not happened on the flight home. First of all, we got there. We got to the airport. We're delayed for about 45 minutes. Delayed in the shit bit where there's no shops. You know, the purgatory shit bits, sit on each other's knees and wait to die in there. All right, so we got on, we sit on the plane. Rosie's in the window seat, I'm in the middle seat. The aisle seat is free at the moment. Right? There's people getting on still. We're one of the first people on the plane. Now, if anyone's been in this situation where it looks like you might get a spare seat to yourselves, you sit in silence and you pray to the gods of travel. Not my idiot wife. She went, oh! Oh, when no one sits there, we could lie down, maybe. Not anymore, we can't, because you've just jinxed it, love. You've angered the gods of travel. You've angered baby Jesus. It's over. So I went, right, as you do, I went, don't say that again. Don't say it out loud. Cross your fingers. Say sorry to the gods of travel. Don't say it again. She went, what are you doing? You're such a child. What's the matter with you? Just don't say it again. Don't say what again? Don't say it. I might get that. Don't say it. And as we're doing this bickering back and forth, I saw the next 7 hours of my life trundling down the aisle. The drunkest man I've ever seen aloud on an aeroplane. It was crazy. I couldn't believe he was on the fly. You know when they're so drunk, it's not words anymore. It's like he's gargling his tongue. He was that drunk, he sounded like old dial-up internet. And I went, he's going to sit there. She went, no, he won't. I went, I bet you. Because you've said it, because you've ruined it, he's going to sit there. She went, don't be such a child, don't be ridiculous. Because you've done, I bet you 25% has. Why have we still got that? I don't know. I bet he sits there. You know what I said, right? She didn't get this, but hopefully you'll get this. You know what I said? It's a specific moment in human life, right? I said, look at him. He looks like he stinks. Yeah, you get it. You know what I mean? You know when someone looks like the stink? There's no reason for it. They're not covered in dog shit. You just think, no, you are going to be a pungent little party in my nostrils, aren't you? I'll taste you from here. And the wind. I went, he's going to sit there. And she went, no, he's not. And I went, I bet he does. And she went, no, he won't. I went, I bet he does. And he walked past the chair and she went, ha! And he turned around and he sat straight in the chair. God, I was heartbroken. I held my breath. I went, and I turned and I put my face right in her face. And I went, look what you've done. Look what you've done. You've ruined it. He's just touched me arm. He's clammy. I'm holding my breath. He's going to smell like poo and I've got to sit next for 7 hours. You ruined it all because you said it out loud. She went, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is what I do. I'm a comedian. I whinge about things. I'm not an astronaut. I'm not a zookeeper. I whinge about stuff. She went, what are you doing, man? Look, calm yourself down. She took my hands. She held them in her hands. She said, Chris, we are on our way home to tell your parents that they are going to be grandparents for the first time in my tummy. She took my hand and put it on her tummy. In my tummy is a little baby, your baby. And you are going to have to teach this baby how to act. Because what you are doing now, mate, is not how we act. You're being a dickhead. You're being a Lawrence. She's right. She's always right. She's a better person than I'll ever be. I said, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm sorry. Don't worry. I'm going to lean in now and have a big sniff. She went, please don't. I went, shh. Don't speak, my love. Don't ruin this beautiful moment. I'm going to lean in. I'm going to get a couple of lungs full, right? Build up my tolerance and enjoy the flight. She went, please don't sniff that stranger. Too late! Remember me, my love! Never have I been more wrong about another man in my life. He smelled delicious. I went in for seconds, I had a lick. Honestly, the best smelling individual I've ever encountered in my life. I don't know what it was. He was a bit alcohol-y. He smelled like alcohol, but he had some kind of cream on for sunburn. Put them together, bang, Malibu. He smelled like Malibu. I hadn't smelled it for years. I was rubbing myself on him like a cat. You know what he did? Instantly fell asleep. The greatest passenger ever, like a little snoozing air freshener. Little Malibu Mark. Tropical Terry, not a problem at all. Great flight already, and it hasn't even taken off. It got better. How? How can it get better? I'll tell you how. I'm not bragging here. Newcastle, you know me. I'm not bragging. It's always nice when it happens, though. I got recognised. This guy came down the aisle, you know. He'd had a couple of beers. He was a bit there. He was a bit excited, you know. He looked over. He knew. He knew. He'd seen my body of work, you know. He looked over. What was it he said again? What was he said? Oh, yeah. You're that bellend with the shit hair! It still counts. It still counts. He still got recognised. Don't take that away from us. As in life, sometimes you just get a bit of a tit. He was just a bit of a tit. Bit of a tit. Not a dickhead yet. Bit of a tit. He confirmed his dickhead status in the next thing he did. The air hostess was showing him to his seat. She was walking in front of him. He was walking behind her. Something fell from one of the seats onto the floor. She bent over to pick it up in front of him. And in 2015, he did this. I could almost forgive this horrendous sexist behaviour if he had 20 dickhead mates behind him going, "Way!" He was on his own. What was that for? What was it for later? What are you doing? And I went, what a dickhead. And Rosie went, confirmed, dickhead. Brilliant. Look what could have happened, man. My God, look what could have happened. And I just stroked Pina Colada Paul. I love you so much, Pina Colada Paul. Right? And he was like, "Oh, mate, oh, you got mate." And I thought, you know what? I don't do this often. I thought, I'm going to ignore this guy. I'm just going to ignore him. Started reading the safety card, the in-flight magazine, all that. He got louder as he got down the aisle. I thought, oh, he was swearing his head off. He was drunk. He was just a pain in the arse. We've all seen them. And he got louder and louder. But hey, it's not going to be anything to worry about because he's going to dissipate down that plane. I'm never going to see him again. He's just going to go quietly off into the night. Louder and louder. And he stayed at a constant level of noise, just parallel with us, just shouting stuff. Hey, what the bellend? Just showing off how many swear words he knew, right? And I started reading the card, and I put the card down, and I turned in time to see the worst sentence in the world falling out of the air stewardess' mouth. She said to Coconut Colin, "Excuse me, sir, but you're in this gentleman's seat." In my little snoozing air freshener, got up, not a pit of bother, and wandered to another seat and fell gently into his deep, peaceful slumber. And Gary slithered in next to me. They said on the news recently that the name Gary is going to be extinct in a few generations. Sorry to any Garys in the room, but judging by this bell end, good. He's ruined it for every Gary I know and have ever met. He was the worst person, bar none, that I've ever met in my life. He didn't look like it. He didn't look like it, which is what annoyed us the most. He didn't look like he stunk. But believe you me, my God, he had the Holy Trinity: alcohol, urine, BO. He had the lot of them. He had the lot of them. Tick, tick, tick. 3 ticks in the dickhead box. But thankfully, those 3 smells were covered up by, and I shit you not, the 2 cheeseburgers he brought on the plane with him. What kind of lunatic brings 2 cheeseburgers on a plane? We were delayed in the bit with no shops. He babysat 2 tepid cheeseburgers for 45 minutes, waiting to sit next to me in a confined space, open them, and just start pushing them into his big head, just like Play-Doh. And his armpits wafting, and he's pushing them in. All the cacophony of smells was nearly too much for me to handle. Do you know what he smelled like? This is the best way I can describe to you what he smelled like. Do you know when you empty your kitchen bin? You get the bag out and you tie it and there's air in it and you go and it hits you. bin waft. He smelled like kitchen bin waft. It was like, as I started chatting to him, right, or as I started getting talked at by him, it was like someone had created the perfect dickhead in a lab. We already have the smells, the sexism, the noise, the swearing, the arrogance. Do you know what he was? If this story was a lie, if I'd made this up for comedy value, I would have picked a less cliched job for a dickhead to have. Gary was a second-hand Audi salesman. I would have picked a better one. It's 2 on the nose, 3 ticks in the dickhead box. He just had a night out after his interview with Porsche in Dubai. 4 ticks in the dickhead box. I don't know where the clubs were that he went with the guys from Dubai, but evidently you had to swim through a moat of piss to get to each one of them. Honestly, it was just a nightmare. And he went, "Why are you drinking champagne? Why are you drinking champagne?" I love telling people this. This is my new thing. I said, well, I'm celebrating, actually, because my beautiful wife, Rosemary, is pregnant with my child. You know what he said? You know what his reaction was to me telling him I'd impregnated my female wife? Gay. I haven't even got enough time in the day to tell you how wrong that is. It's just a nightmare. He went, "Get rid of that champagne. Let's go drink for drink. Double Jack Daniels and Coke. Bet I can drink you under the table. I bet I can drink more than you." How old are you? 16? 18. How old are you? 18. In other parts of the country, they didn't start as early as us. But I can drink more than you. Pathetic. I just didn't know what to deal with. It was just constant talking, constant, I bet this, I bet that, I'm better than you, blah, blah, blah. In my face, burping at us throughout. Non-stop. I turned to Rosie, she went, "Are you okay?" I went, "No. No, I'm being bullied by the nasty man." It's a nightmare, and I started whinging at her, so all I'm doing is passing on his dickheadishness to her. Doing, stop whinging, this is what I do. I'm not an astronaut, I'm not a zookeeper. I whinge about stuff, I'm a comedian, I whinge. Right? So if it bothers you that much, tell the air stewardess. I'm not telling the teacher. First rule of the playground, I'm not telling the teacher. I'll get wedgied on the way off. It's not happening. Food came. Got a couple hours into the flight, midday, food came. Lamb curry, brilliant. More smells to be wafted into me face while angry being told you're better than us. Brilliant. Tell you what, this is the luckiest I've been in my life. The universe smiled down on me in a way you would not believe. If he'd said this to anyone else on the planet, it would have fallen on confused and deaf ears. Maybe one other person on the planet would get this. He looked at his lamb curry, he looked at mine, he looked at me, and he said, "I bet I can eat this faster than you." "Do you now, Gary? Do you now indeed?" Rosie went, "Uh-oh. That's right, it's on. Foil off. Brrr. I tell you what, he was a formidable opponent. I was panicking for a bit. Halfway through that lamb curry, halfway through the rice, panicking a little bit, but he fell short. He fell short by a full bread roll and half a tiramisu. Not a chance, mate. Not a chance, because I'm a champion eater, that's what I do. Thank you very much, Lawrence. That's what I do, right? And I beat this bully, and he sat in silence, in a huff, for half an hour. And I turned to Rosie and I said, "See that, darling? That's why I'm never growing up. That is why I will never grow up, because my childish behaviour just beat a bully. That's what happened there. He's sitting there now in his huff, because I won." He wasn't in a huff. He's a grown man. Grown men don't go in huffs for stuff like that. Evidently, you don't need to be a dietitian to know that a full night out with the lads from Porsche, 2 tepid cheeseburgers, God knows how many Jack Daniels and Coke, and a lamb curry eating at record speed, ho, 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 ho. It's trouble time in Tommy Town. And as I'm giving this victory speech to my wife, I'm going, and I'm full of victory, and I've beat this man. The victory's pounding in me chest, Rosemary. The victory's tingling in me fingers, Rosemary. The cold victory is splashing on me leg and into me shoe as Gary is violently sick onto the floor. Ah! I panicked so much. He's being sick into a bag, then he abandoned the bag. Then he just started piling bits of his insides onto the now folded up crushed bag on the floor. It's hit me legs, it's on me socks, it's on me shoes. Ah! Stewardess! Stewardess! Bollocks to it. Playground rules out the window. Time to go. Stewardess! Stewardess! They came down, they got him out, they picked him up. He was mortal. There was sick running down him. They walked him to the toilet. I stood in the aisle. Rosie and me stood in the aisle and watched an air stewardess take 2 safety cards from the seat in front and scrape into his inside onto the cards and into a bag. Rosie said, "Are you proud of yourself?" No. Grow up, mate. Grow up. We'll have to grow up. Do you know why? Because children are stupid. Kids are stupid. Kids spend a lot of their life in and around the smell of sick. And that's not how I want to live my life.